help you. But what I want to do here for the 45 minutes that I have is, I want this to be a life-moving experience. I don't take it lightly. I'm not here to like motivate you or you're like, hey, that was a great event. I actually want, maybe 10 years from now, you look back and go, man, that 30, 40 minutes right there, on top of that entire day with these amazing people, I'll never forget it. That's a big burden to carry when you get up here. And the reason that I carry that burden is people did it for me. I'm a big believer that people can change in their life because I watched my hero do it. My hero was my dad. And when I get introduced, there's always a video that plays. I asked them not to do it, but it's like this video, kind of like that right there, that picture of me. They play these videos of like my jets. I've owned 6 different jets, which is pretty cool. I live oceanfront in Laguna Beach. I live at a place called the Madison Club in La Quinta, which is easily the most expensive zip code in the world. Tim Cook's my neighbor, Adele, Kris Jenner, Kardashians, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, John Elway, me. It's kind of a cool group of people there, right? And then I own an island. That's pretty damn cool. I own the best piece of property on the planet off the coast of Portland, Maine. It's called Hope Island. Is that not a cool name? And I didn't even name it that. And when you have all those things happen, what ends up happening is then people begin to think you're different than them, which I don't want you to believe, because then it's a cop-out for you. If somehow like I'm superhuman or brilliant or unbelievable or blah, 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 then it's okay if you don't win, isn't it? And a lot of speakers will try to get up here and convince you how incredible they are. Well, let me tell you the real with me. You ready for the real? Here's who I am. I'm the son of a drug addict and an alcoholic. That's who I am. My great-grandfather drowned in a gutter in front of a bar in Boston, South Boston. O'Leary's bar. He drowned in a gutter, passed out drunk. My dad was a drunk and a drug addict the first 15 years of my life. Didn't live very well. Any of you come from any dysfunction in your family at all? Just curious. A lot of dysfunction in families, by the way. It can be alcoholism, drug addiction, abuse, divorce. You broke. They didn't tell you they loved you enough. I had a good friend of mine about 3 months ago. She called me. My wife and I met in kindergarten, by the way. It's a cool story. One of my best friends, a girl named Jennifer, she was in the same kindergarten class with us. I came home from kindergarten the first day. My wife's Mexican. You can't tell that anymore because we've made some alterations, but she is Mexican. And significant alterations if you've seen photographs, by the way. But I'm teasing you, babe, if you hear the video of this. But not really. I'm really happy with that. But anyway, I came home from kindergarten and I told my dad, my wife's Mexican, I said, Daddy, this little girl that moved down the street, the next street over, that brown girl, I'm gonna marry her someday. And I didn't know I said it, but when we started dating in high school, my dad goes, you know that's the girl from kindergarten you told me you were gonna marry. And ultimately I ended up marrying that brown girl. We've been together for like 135 years, right? So she really knows who I am. But this other girl from our kindergarten class called me, she said, Eddie, I'm just so proud of you. You got the #1 book in the world right now, which you should get, The Power of One More. She said, and you got your podcast is #1, you got a TV show at NBC, blah, 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 blah. So proud of you because you come from dysfunction. And I said, Jen, I love you, babe, but can I be honest with you? I think you have a dysfunctional house. She goes, what are you talking about? I don't even drink. Me and Brian have been married for 20 years. We both have good jobs. I said, Jen, the most insidious form of neglect of a child, how many of you have kids? Any of you got kids? Most insidious form of neglecting of a child is a child being raised by a parent who is not in pursuit of their dreams or their potential. Because most things with your kids are caught, not taught. And they are slowly learning from you. You dads, hey man, son, you can be whatever you want. Sweetheart, you can be the president if you want someday. Eventually they get to an age, and you know what they do? Why aren't you, Dad? Why aren't you, Mama? They don't want you to be rich or famous. They want you to be happy. And they know, don't they? They're with you in the morning when you're getting ready for school. You're driving and they see how you are. They know whether you're worried, you got fear, you got anxiety, you're winning, your family's somebody, you're thriving, or you're not. You can fool them when they're little, but eventually they get to 8, 9 years old, they figure out who Mama and Daddy are. So what we're going to talk about today matters. It's just your legacy. And by the way, if you don't have kids, you probably got parents and they need you. And so I come from that. Here's the good news. You can overcome it. Here's why. I made hundreds of millions of dollars in business with no intellect. Good news for a lot of you dumbasses in here. I don't have a high IQ. I'm fourth in my own house. I got a wife and 2 babies. My kids are in college. We take an IQ test like every 3-4 years because they think it's hilarious. I finish 4th every freaking time. I got two skills. And they came from pain. Here's the paradox of life. Never forget I just told you this. The things you're most ashamed of, the greatest pain you've been through in your life. Here's the lie the adversary gets you to believe. Gets you to believe it disqualifies you. I'm disqualified because of this thing I'm ashamed of. I'm disqualified because of this mistake. I'm disqualified because of the family I come from. I'm disqualified because I went bankrupt. I'm disqualified because of my divorce. I'm disqualified from ever being great because I've never been great heretofore. I've always been average and ordinary, so I'm probably going to be that way. I've always been invisible. Most people don't respect me. They don't know who I am. I get treated a particular way. Most people don't have high expectations of me. I've proved them to be right. Probably the rest of my life I'm disqualified from being happy. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Yeah. Well, here's the deal. That's a lie. I'll prove it to you. I wrote The Power of One More. When I was done with the book, it came out about 3 months ago. I wake up in the middle of the night crying. My wife, who's known me forever, goes, "Babe, wait, what are you crying for?" I go, "Babe, I just realized something." Because my dad got sober. My father finally got sober. I said, "Babe, someone helped Daddy." "What, honey?" I said, "There's some human being on this earth that helped my daddy when he was going to take his life, when he was going to lose his family in some bar or some corner of some hotel somewhere or some alley. Some human being did something great. They helped my dad when he needed help. And that person probably has no idea I'm his son." That little act of doing something great where they helped another person changed my life. Changed millions of people's lives. Is that not amazing? She goes, "Oh my God." I said, "I don't know who they are." I said, "That's not the most amazing part. Babe, what qualified this person to help my dad? That they were one time a drunk. They were one time a drug addict. They were one time a liar. They were one time living in the shadows. Little do they know the things they're most ashamed of that they thought disqualified them from ever being happy or successful. God, or whatever you believe, was using those things to qualify them in the moment to help my father. Why? Because in life, we are most qualified to help the person or people we used to be. Did you just hear me? That's a wow. Say wow.
Yeah.
Is this too intense for you? It's just your precious life. That's all I'm talking about. Just your life. The things you think that disqualify you, qualify you. You used to be broke, and then you become no longer broke. You can help broke people. You used to be broken. You're not so broken anymore. You can help broken people. You used to not know anything about real estate or mortgages, and you're in that business. Now you know a little bit. You can help people with it. You don't got to be perfect. You got to grow. The reason I keep growing, and I'm 51 and working like a madman, is because I know that every time I become a new version of me, I meet another part of me I didn't know existed. When you survive temporary pain on the other side of it, you get introduced to another version of yourself. Another talent, another thought, another emotion, another skill you get introduced to if you can survive the temporary. And all pain is temporary. You remember that this year when this economy hits. All pain is temporary. If you can survive, I'm up here because I've survived the temporary. Biggest pain in my life, my dad was a drunk. By the time I was 5 years old, I had 3 sisters and a mom. This is who I really am. Then we'll get into tactics. My dad would come home drinking. I had to figure out real quick whether he was drunk. I got 2 skills. Let me tell you what they are. I made, 800 million with it. Let me tell you what they are. I love people. I love them. I believe in them. I have an unusual ability to be present with human beings. Not because I'm special, because I had to with my dad. You watch my podcast, people say, "Man, you get people to say stuff they never say. You're like so into it." I'm into my Uber driver that drove me over here, Muhammad. To tell you about everything you want to know about him. The guy that drove me to the airport today is a big fan of like Diesel Dave and Keaton and Heavy D. I got a video I'll play for you guys later about it. I get to know people. Second thing I can do is I can talk. I can change how you feel by speaking. Where'd that come from? Let me tell you. 5 years old, my dad would come home drinking. I got 3 sisters and a mom. He comes through that front door. I had to read that man the minute he came through. I'd hear his car pull up and I'd get right to the front door. Because when he would walk through, if he was drunk, I'd say, Mama, go upstairs and take a bath. Take Mimi and Andrea and Eric up there, put them in, excuse me, put them in their room. It hit me today. So you don't want to know what it was like to be left there alone with him downstairs. Wasn't pretty. And I'd have to read him when he'd walk through that front door. What's his eyes like? Is his tie? His body language? How's he walking? What's his cadence? What's he sound like? If he's drunk, Mama, if he was sober, it was cool, we would have dinner. But if he was drunk, get upstairs, Mama. And then the second thing would happen. I'd have to kick in and start talking to this man. Hey, Daddy, how's your day? And all my job was, I had to get him away from the liquor cabinet. Because if he went over to that liquor cabinet, my old man who was already drunk or high, my dad liked gin. Beefeater's gin. He'd pop open that Beefeater's, full glass, 8 of them. Bam, bam, 8. I thought every daddy did that. In fact, I played baseball all the way to Division I, a little bit of professional baseball. I wore number 8 for that reason. You think we were going to talk about this, did you? Hey, Daddy, I got a 93 on my spelling test. Yeah, I hit 2 jacks in baseball. Evidently, I'm playing quarterback in flag football tomorrow. You are? That's amazing. If I could get him over the couch. You did. Where'd you hit it? Right center, Daddy. Hit another one in the gap for a double. I played great today. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Did you have any good meeting? Yeah, I had one. And if I could get him there for an hour, change his state, change what he felt, my family was safe. By the time I was 7, I knew by the sound the key made in the lock whether he was drunk. That's how good I got to be in present and reading people. Little did I know the universe, in my case, God, was equipping me, if I could survive that temporary pain, with the 2 skills I would use to make hundreds of millions of dollars and change millions of people's lives. Are you starting to get it now? Say yes. The pain you go through, the adversity you go through, if you survive it and you learn from it, on the other side of that stuff is the very thing you will uncover about yourself that will be the key, just like that drunk helped my dad. By the way, my dad helped about 3,000 people get sober after he got sober the rest of his life. Pretty cool, right? So, started out a little intense. Hope I got your attention now. Now let me give you a little bit more, let me give you a little more help, a little hope. I got named by Intuitive Magazine, the fastest growing businessman in the history of social media. Pretty cool. Forbes named me number 1 also. Here's what's crazy. I've never run an ad. I just went to a summit with all the influencers, Jay Shetty and Dean Graziosi and Brennan Burchard and Jamie Kern-Lima and Mel Robbins and all these people. And they went around the room with all their problems. They all have teams like 80 people. They got to me and they're like, what about you? How do you manage? Who's the CEO? Who manages your stuff? I have my sister. Yeah, no, that's my whole team. Me and my sister. That's my whole squad. But wait a minute, you got millions of followers, number 1 podcast? Yep, and I've never run an ad. And I love Grant. Grant's a good dude. I don't know, what's he run, $200 million worth of ads? I don't know what Gary Vee's run, but it's millions and millions. VaynerMedia, I got Erica Stewart. That's what I got. So you can build it based on the quality. Why? Because here's why my content works. Because I'm always making people feel something, and so are you. Great entrepreneurs, great business people, great fathers, great mothers, understand you're always making people feel something, so you ought to be intentional about what it is they're feeling. And to the extent you can get intentional about what people feel, is to the extent that you can influence them. Brad talked about building a brand, building relationships. Level beyond that, and he's right, is you got to get good at making people feel something. Here, let me tell you how I got started on social. I didn't want to be on social. I was already a speaker. I was already a pretty wealthy dude. Tony Robbins has been a friend of mine who's on my show this week. Number 1 show in the world this week was my podcast. I only do 1 a week. And Robbins is on this week for the 3rd time. And Tony's like, hey man, you need to get into this space. You're the future of the space. The way you speak, what you know about the brain, your faith, the neuroplasticity stuff you teach, that I teach, the reticular activating system, all the stuff you need to be in this space. And I'm like, look dude, I got all these private people that I coach. I got CEOs, I got politicians, I got entertainers. And guess what? I ain't famous and I don't want to be. I like that I can go into a restaurant and have dinner and be left alone, and you can't. Neither can A-Rod, neither can J-Lo, right? Neither can Mike Trout, neither can my UFC fighters. I don't want all that. I'm gonna cuss. because it's what he actually said. He goes, that's why you're a fucking liar. I said, what did you say? We're sitting on my balcony. He goes, you're a liar. You say you want to help people, but only up to the point where it wouldn't inconvenience you. And he goes, let me just be real. If you do it, you'll be the #1 guy. So you're going to be famous, and you're not going to have any privacy. And you ought to be willing to sacrifice that little thing, man, since you got all this help from everybody else, and go change the world. I said, I'm not a liar. My son was there, who ran my social media because my sister didn't work for me at the time. I said, Max, this is the true story. That's how ignorant I was. I was already middle-aged. I said, Max, he's full of shit. I'm going to do this just because he told me to. Set me up an InstaFace account pronto. That's the exact sentence I said to him. He goes, Daddy, I said, hey, set it up. He goes, Dad, it's Instagram and Facebook, I think. I said, do them both then. I had a Twitter already, but I'd never used it. I had never tweeted. Anyway, I make the first video. I go, Tony, how's this work? He goes, look, make a video, it's a minute long. I go, a minute? What the hell's it a minute for? I clear my phone in a minute. My keynotes are an hour long. He goes, just do a minute thing, do your thing in a minute. He's sitting right next to me, but you can't see him. I go, and I post it. The next day I call him, I go, this stuff doesn't work, man. He said I'd be big. I got 4 views. 1 like. And by the way, the like was my mom. This crap doesn't work. Here's what I hear him say. Here's how stupid I am. This is going to give you some hope. Here's what I thought he said to me. He goes, hey, you posted at the wrong time. I said, well, when do you post? He goes, breakfast time is the highest traffic time. Let me tell you how coachable I am. Here we are, hundreds of posts later. Every single day I still post at breakfast time. I don't post at 9:30 at night, 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I post at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time every single day. Hasn't varied once because of this one phone call with Tony back then. So I hear breakfast time. I'm on my boat, he's on his boat. It's a little weird connection. The second thing he says, post at breakfast time, you got to have hash browns in the video. And I'm already ignorant about InstaFace, right? So I don't question it. And I call my son. I'm on my boat. I go, hey, I'm going to the golf course. You said you knew about this stuff. How come you don't know about breakfast time with the hash browns? Max like, Daddy, I don't know what you're talking. I said, listen to me. Everybody knows this. You got to post at breakfast time, and evidently you need hash browns in every video. He's like, Daddy, I go, don't look. I'm going to be home at 4 o'clock. Tell your mom whip out some hash browns. I'll do my video tonight. You go look at my Instagram. My second video, there's a big-ass plate of hash browns in front of me. I do the video. It's a really good one, too. I call him the next day. I go, Robbins, still not working. I did exactly what you said. This time I got 4 views and no likes. Even my mom did not like it this time. And I did exactly what you said. I said, I posted at the breakfast time. I did the plate of hash browns. He goes, what did you just say? I said, I posted at 7:30 at breakfast time, big old plate of hash browns. I don't know if you need, like, is there a particular crispy in it? Like, what's the deal? He goes, you idiot. What are you talking about? I'm like, you said hash browns in every video. He goes, dumbass, it's hashtags. I'm like, what the fuck's a hashtag? This is 2 middle-aged men. He goes, I don't know either. It's like a pound sign and then a word, and then the internet sees your stuff. I'm like, why? He goes, I have no idea. But you gotta put these pound signs next to every word. A year later, I had 1 million followers. A year later, I had 1 million followers. Is that bananas? Why do I tell you that? You just gotta start. You gotta quit living afraid. You gotta start to create. You gotta start to post. You gotta start to express yourself. You gotta start to do that, man. You're not stupid. You didn't think it's hash browns. I promise you didn't think that. Let me show you how I do it. Can you pull the thing up? I don't know which way is the click. Is that the click? What do all these people have in common? Go back one, guys. Sorry. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey. I put myself up there with them because I feel good about it. Chris Jenner is my neighbor. I put Rachel Hollis, Elon Musk. These are relatively successful people. Would you agree? Very different human beings. What do they have in common? There's Andy Frisella, my business partner. I put him next to Mother Teresa because it's freaking hilarious, right? And then there's Zuck, Martha Stewart, Dwayne Johnson, who's on my show in March, and Martin Luther King, who's my hero. I wrote my dissertation on him. What do all these people have in common? Because they're all very different. Would you agree? Let me tell you what they have in common. I'm going to teach you something you'll never forget the rest of your life. Here's what they are. They're evangelical. They're evangelists for their mission and their cause. When you get around them, you feel that they believe so deeply in what they do that it's contagious and infectious. See, one of the things that you got to start to do is you got to start to believe so deeply in whatever you do that people begin to feel that vibrational frequency from you. And you magnetize people. And that could be with the spoken word, a look in your eye, the touch, the written word, your caption, your email, the way you talk to people, one-on-one groups. You got to get good at being evangelical about your cause. You with me on that? Say yes. Now, how do you do that? How the hell do I do that? You don't do it by trying to get people to believe you. All these sales courses of all these guys are always trying to teach you the words to get people to believe you, aren't they? Have you realized that it does not work yet? Why does it not work? Because when you try to get people to believe you, you come across like a beggar. You come across underneath. You're superior, I'm inferior, please believe me. It's like a dude begging a girl for a date. It never works, does it? You only get the date when she thinks you don't need her. Listen to me, there's a subtle difference. Write it down. Stop trying to get people to believe you. Start trying to get people to believe that you believe you. I'm not trying to get you to believe what I'm saying. I'm trying to get you to believe I believe what I'm saying. You see the difference? Yes? That's influence. That's what I do on my social. I'm always trying to get people to do one other thing. Link whatever I do to one emotion. What do all great evangelical entrepreneurs link their emotion to? What do all the great movements have? They link it to one emotion. Happiness. You can call it love if you want to, but I'm going to call it happiness. It's somehow the embedded message in everything you do. I do it as a dad. My let's want to do something awesome today. Being part of the My Let's, you'll be happier. You want to buy my insurance? You want to buy my potato chips? You want to buy my chocolate? You want to get in my coaching program? You want to get into the chicken business I'm in? Whatever it is that I have, I link happiness to the product. And it's not easy, but when you get good at it, you will explode. How come you're not writing this down, by the way? With all due respect, I just want to say something to you. Someone worth 800 million speaking to you, and you're not even writing it down? You didn't come to the meeting with notes? And you think you're going to win in business against someone like me? You're going to get your ass kicked, man. Wake up. Wake up. Get in your game. Get serious about your life. This is real. Believe it or not, you could win. Won't it be shitty at the end of your life if you found out you could have won and you never believed it? You could win. I'm talking to you like this because I believe in you, brother. I believe in you, sister. You got to start to get intentional and serious and outwork people and get more focused than people. You got to link happiness to it. I'll prove it to you. Number one holder of real estate in the world. Is it Donald Trump? McDonald's. Who said that? You're right, young man. Number one distributor of the food in the world. McDonald's. Wait a minute. You telling me the two most important things in the world, shelter and food, one organization is the dominant player in both? That's what I'm telling you. And they ain't in either business. They're in the happiness business. Ray Kroc was a genius. You think they've made it because of the caliber and taste and healthiness of their food? None of you in here would go to McDonald's over In-N-Out. You keep thinking it's the quality of your product, man, or the pricing, or the way you distribute it. You got to link it to happiness. Imagine Ray Kroc walking in and goes, hey, we're in the happiness business. Like, no, we're not, man. We're in the hamburger. What the hell, the hamburgers that clog your arteries have to do with being happy? Doesn't matter. If we get good at that, we'll own the planet. What's the number one meal they sell there called? Oh my. You bought into this the whole time and didn't even think about it, did you? How about the day Kroc walks in and goes, guess what? Not only is it a happy meal, we need a mascot. What? What does a hamburger stand have to do with a mascot? Because when I said happiness, you know the first thing you thought? I thought it has nothing to do with happiness. Figure it out. Figure it out. Well, I was in the life insurance business, man. First thing I tell my outcome is for the end of the day, Nick, that your family's happier when we're finished. That you're happier. We're going to protect your family. Ultimately, you'll be happier. You're going to have long-term savings. You're going to retire with some dignity. Your kids are going to go to college. My outcome is this family's happy. Let me show you how I think we can get a little happier. We need a mascot. And it's a clown. What the fuck does a clown have to do with hamburgers? Nothing, but you bought it the whole time. Paint his face yellow, white, and orange, and red. You bought into it. Oh, by the way, number one thing they sell in these stores isn't actually hamburgers and fries. It's a sugar-aided, carbonated beverage that'll give you diabetes if you drink enough of it. It's called a Coca-Cola. What do you get when you get a Coke? You get a Coke and oh man. What the hell's that got to do with it? Nothing, but you bought it. Repeat it over and over and over again. You're starting to get it, yes or no?
Yes.
See, you don't have to believe it. You have to believe they believe it. Oh, there's this other little company. They make a couple things a few people have. Anybody got an Apple product in here? Anybody raise your hand? Yeah, it's the most dominant company in the history of mankind. Most influential company that you make up. The CEO lives 3 doors down from me. His name's Tim Cook. I'm always telling him, Cookie, Jobs got it, you don't. You keep selling the pixels on the camera, dude. Google has this commercial right now on why their camera's so good. Like 8 people own that camera and that phone. Because Jobs wasn't in that business. Steve Wozniak, the founder of Apple, Andy and I brought him in to speak to our coaching group. And Woz came in, he's become a pretty good friend of mine. By the way, he'd be the wealthiest man in the world, except he gave almost all his stock away to employees. I said, Woz, why'd you call it Apple? He goes, I called it Apple because it came early in the phone book, but that ain't the real reason. The real reason we called it Apple is because Steve said, apples make him happy. I said, you're shitting me. He goes, no. He goes, by the way, happiness, let me just tell you this. Go watch a YouTube video, and you should do it tonight, of Steve rolling out a new Mac. You think he was with the gigs and the megs, or whatever that crap is? You think he pushed that stuff, yes or no? The price? Nope. Guess what he pushed? Happiness. Watch him roll it out. It's a great video. He goes, hey, here's our new Mac. How happy would you be to take this sweetheart home and have her on your lap? Look at her curves. Isn't she sexy? You'd be so happy with this young one sitting on your lap. That's the whole video, man. He marketed happiness, and they became a bombshell company, the greatest of all time. You want to do pretty well in business as a mom, a dad, you get into the happiness business. Just take the concept and start to meditate on it. Will you do that for me? Say yes.
Yeah.
Why does it matter that you start doing it now? Here's why it matters you start doing it now. I'll tell you about my show. I love to find influential people. And so about, 3 months ago, I'm watching Netflix. There's this brilliant man on there. His name's David Arnold. I love comedians. I've had Sebastian Maniscalco, Nikki Glaser, Frank Caliendo, Dane Cook, Whitney Cummings. I have comics on my show a couple times a year. I love them because I think they're brilliant public speakers. We learn from one another. They learn from me, I learn from them. And so I'm watching this special. There's this dude, it's the #1 special on Netflix, David Arnold. I loved it because he was not only hilarious, I was laughing, I was also crying. He made me emotional. He talked about his story. He went to prison, he was a drug addict, how it took him 20 years even to get on a big stage. And how he'd walk back and forth to the Comedy Store. Dude blew my mind. And then the whole special was about his wife and his kids and his family. I thought, man, I like this. The special ends, I've never seen a comedian do this. He brings his beautiful wife, Julie, and his 2 daughters out on the stage. And he honors them. Because these are the ones I've been talking about. I go, my babe, I love you. My wife's crying and laughing, I am. Then he goes, I'll take it one step further. I've made a documentary on the rest of my family. So after the special, you watch a documentary about his 3 dads, because he had 3 dads. Very emotional. So as I'm watching, I'm like, I'm getting this dude on the show. And I look and he's following me. I said to my voice, hey David, he said, I'm sitting here with my wife, blown away. I'll be honored if you come on my podcast. 3 seconds later, 3. You know, you see the dots on there? He goes, is this Ed Milet? Ed Milet? Hey, it's freaking Ed Milet. He goes, by the way, dude, first and foremost, my sister thinks you're hot. Number 2, I'd be honored to come on your show. Big fan. Love your work. I said, man, I'd be honored. I said, Dwayne Johnson just rescheduled to March. How about next Tuesday? He goes, oh man, I'm shooting a movie in Atlanta. By the way, at that time, #1 show on Nickelodeon that he wrote, #1 Netflix special. And he goes, you know what, man? Could we shoot early in the morning? I said, yeah. He goes, I'll take the red eye back from Atlanta. I'll land at 6. We can shoot at 8. I'll back on the plane. I won't miss the shoot. I said, you would do that? He goes, I really want to come on. I said, great. I had a feeling it was going to be special. We had this amazing connection, amazing interview. Well, heck, I'll show you how brilliant he is. Watch this clip. You'll laugh your ass off.
100% true story. Bakersfield. I got arrested for a fix-it ticket. I was driving a car that did not have it didn't have seatbelts on it. They wanted me to put seatbelts in the car. I found that it cost $600 to put seatbelts in a car I paid $600 for. I'm not going to do that. So I was like, I'm going to drive this car till it falls over, and it did. And I left it on the side of the road. I just walked home, and I never thought about that car ever again. And I was somewhere drinking with my friends at Edwards Air Force Base like 2 years later. And they ran my name and a warrant came up, and it was a fix-it ticket that had turned into a warrant. The hardest part of being in there was eating that food without any salt. My mother was like, they're raping people in there, people are getting shaped, and your complaint is that there is no salt.
This made him after, man. This dude's brilliant, right? So the show comes out. We just had you ever just meet somebody? I had a lot on my show. You know what's crazy? The last 5 years, some of my best friends in my life have just been people I met on the show. Other times they're friends of mine already, but me and him just, it was like a love affair. His wife texted my wife going, my husband is smitten with your husband. I think they're gonna be friends the rest of their lives. We actually said it in the interview. He said to me, he goes, man, I'm gonna know you the rest of my life. I said, there's no doubt, Dave. Anyway, the show came out 2 weeks later, he's blown away. You do my show, you can believe the engagement level. So he does my show, and he's like, brother, I got 6,000 DMs, we can't get to them. Flood everything. I said, man, you're gonna be filling up arenas just like we said. He goes, brother, I know it, I'm so grateful. I said, no man, it's not me, it's you, they love you. He goes, man, we gotta do the dinner with the wives soon. Next morning is Wednesday, about 9:15, he sends me a video message from the kitchen. This is how he does it. Hey brother, I don't know what to tell you, we got like 12,000 of them now. I got 17,000 new followers when I went to sleep. It's crazy. I hit him back and go, man, they love you. I said, now you're really doing arenas. You need to get your arena tour set up, brother. Let's go. When this movie's done, get this thing set. It's like about 9:50. 9:53 hits me back, goes, hey man, Julie, we're so grateful, brother. I can't believe you gave me this platform. He goes, how about this Monday night montage? You and me and some cigars in your backyard. Ladies will come down, drink a little too much. We'll take them over to dinner at the montage. How about 7 o'clock? I said, you got it, man. I hit him back. You got it, man. I hit him back at like 9:58. I said, you got it, brother. We'll see you Monday. At 10:01, he died. At 10:01, he died. A week later, I was asked to speak at his celebration of life. Like that. In a flicker, he was gone. You know what your problem is? Can I say that to you as a brother? Yes or no? Yes. You think everybody else is going to die. Not you. You process it like you kind of know you're gonna, but you really don't think you're gonna. Other people are going to die, not you. So you're going to get around to being happy. You're going to get around to being successful. You're going to get around to making your family proud of you. You're going to get around to feeling the emotions you want. You're going to get around to it, aren't you? The problem with that, here's the lie you face. You think your dreams are really far away, and that's a lie. The truth is, it's one decision away, one relationship away, one moment away, one speaker away, 1 hour away, one new thought away. But because you believe it's so far away, you create patterns and behaviors in your life that perpetually keep it there. And eventually you'll die with it there. You got to get after it now. Time is running out on you. I don't care if you're 21 or 51 and you're in this room. Time is running out on you. He was 54 years old. Pretty damn fit, would you agree? Yeah. Thank God he didn't die with his dreams still in him. Thank God his daughter's caught. You can be somebody. Thank God he made his mom and his dad's proud of him. Thank God he did something. Thank God he quit kicking the can down the road. Eventually. Playing scared, playing afraid, playing small, letting other small people project their limiting, small-ass thoughts onto you. People have underestimated you all your life. It's time you prove them wrong. Amen, amen, amen. Amen. What do you got to do that? You got to start to compete. The best way to shift stuff is you got to start to get competitive. You got to start not with other people. I don't pay attention to what anybody else does. I pay attention to what I'm capable of, my potential. And I'm a competitive dude. I'm addicted to the expansion of my being. My reach, my thoughts, my emotions, my spirituality. Who can I become as a man? Because I came from so far. I was a little boy who was scared and insecure and shy and small and introverted. You come from that type of family, man, you don't believe your shit. I had to prove to myself I was. I had to work. No self-improvement course did that. I had to start doing stuff other people weren't willing to do, so I started to believe I got stuff other people aren't going to get. And I did it with the power of one more. Everybody, look, people know confidence, they don't keep promises to themselves. People with confidence, they keep the promises they make to themselves, don't they? How am I going to build superhuman confidence? I got to keep the promises I make to myself, plus one more. So I'm going to make 10 contacts a day. I don't make 10. I keep that promise, I do one more. I'm going to do 45 minutes on the treadmill. I haven't done 45 minutes in 30 years. But I've done a bunch of 1 more minute after 45 minutes. I haven't done 10 on the bench, man, in like forever. But I've done a bunch of 10. I go, hey, man, 1 more. 1 more. You start stacking up those 1 mores, you start changing you. The difference between winning and losing, happiness and sadness, here's the truth. It's so small, it's scary. Almost too scary to talk about, but I'm willing to because I figured out what the difference is. It's 1 more. It's not as big a difference as you think. It's a small difference. The difference between sitting in that crowd and speaking up here someday is a bunch of one mores. You with me on that? Say yes.
Yeah.
Here's where I learned it. Well, that's worthy of applause. The lady in the back clapped. Someone else should be clapping right there. That was good. Let me hear it. Let me tell you about my son. Talk about competing. I got 2 stories and I'm done. This is my son. I only have one. I love him. But he is the single most uncoordinated human being that has ever existed on earth. To this day, I do not know whether my son is a lefty or a righty, and neither does my wife. I've watched that boy strike out 50 times in a season left-handed and right-handed. I've watched him eat a fly ball right in the grill with this hand and this hand. I watched him play a whole season of basketball up till the last game, hadn't scored. Like, Max, better get a score today. I'm getting it, Dad, I'm getting it. Last game, 2 minutes left in the game. One of his teammates made a shot. Max thought it was going in, so he turns around to run down the court to play defense. The rebound hit him in the cranium, went into the basket. That was the shot for the year. My kid's running down the court like he's Kobe. Like he's Kobe. We played golf, played lefty and righty, still finished last. In fact, he had some clubs in his bag. Can you imagine playing golf? Dad, I made this one left-handed. I'm gonna put it right-handed. We moved to the desert, right where you see this picture. That's me and my son. Let me prove you his uncoordinated. Look at his feet. I didn't even realize it until I picked the picture. Who the hell, who does this right here? Do you know anybody? Let's take a picture. You're taking a lot of pictures, right? You know anyone who's like, yeah, take it. That's my kid. So we're playing golf, we're on this tour. Let me tell you about the tour. It's all pro golfers and their sons and me and my kid. I suck and we don't even know if he's lefty or righty. I'm jacked out of my mind on creatine at the time. I am pumping a bunch of creatine back in the day. Most tournaments I would show up like in a tank top, tatted up, jacked, Adidas sweats. My kid's wearing some ragamuffin outfit with crooked feet. These dads shine up with like Ricky Fowler matching pro outfits, perfect swings. 3 years, every single Saturday, we finished last. I'm not exaggerating. We finished last every single tournament for 3 years. To the point where we didn't compete, I made it about fun. And my son took me very seriously. My son is the sweetest boy you've ever met in your life. He's got his mom's heart. I'd say, Max, hey man, remember this, we're just having fun today. I know, Daddy, it's all about fun. That's what he would say to me. I said, remember, when you get out of the car, I'd say, hey buddy, if you win today, there's no chance. If you win today, I won't love you anymore. And if you lose and finish last, I won't love you any less. Because I love you, Daddy. We're gonna have fun. And he'd kiss me. And he'd go warm up. Hey guys, how we doing? He'd tee off, top one in the lake. Hey Dad, we're having fun. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna agree for. 3 years of this shit. Other boys would bomb it down. Nice shot, Jacob! Woo! They're looking at my kid like, do you understand? You imagine the pro golfers looking at us like, you understand the objective here, kid, right? So we're there 3 years, we've lost every single tournament, that's not an exaggeration, until one day. Listen to me. One day. Maybe that one for you will happen right now. Maybe it already happened. By the way, when you make a decision, it's not loud. It's just a little shift. You just go, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm not playing anymore. Be a little more focused. I'm gonna walk a little different. I'm gonna think just a little different. I may even copy someone for a while. Just gonna tweak it, man. I don't even have to tell anybody. But yeah, I'm a little freaking different. Well, here's what happened this day. We played 9 holes. We're in last place. We're down 11 at the turn. And we're way behind because he's playing so bad. And one of the dads changed our life. Because at the tournament, you grab a lunch at the tournament. That day, the lunches were over there, and the next tee box is like the back of that room, and we're behind. And one of the dads, who's a pro golfer, says this, hey, Jacob and David, you guys go over to the tee box and hit your shot. Max will grab your lunches. He's out of it. He doesn't give a crap anyway. And my son, like he normally walks, started to go get lunch. I said, stop. You guys want me to cuss you? I'm going to clean it up. Which version do you want? Your kids are in here. I'm not going to cuss. I said, what the f did you just say to my son? Don't you ever speak to my son. Don't you ever disrespect my family like that. You understand me? Hey, don't ever talk to my daddy. Stay there, Max. Don't you ever talk to my son like that. Tell you what we're going to do. You boys do go over that tee box. Max, you stay with me. My son's never seen me like this. I start to walk towards him. Daddy, remember, it's all about having fun. I go, come here. I love you. Come here. And I got down to this level. I said, Maximus, I'm fucking winded out. What, Daddy's stuff? I go, we're gonna win. He goes, Dad, what about we're here to have fun and you? I go, hey, forget all that crap. Maximus, winning is more fun than fun is fun. Winning is more fun than fun is fun, son. He goes, hey, Daddy. I said, yes, buddy, we're gonna get this today. I said, you got another shirt? I don't like this shirt. By the way, my son has a good swing. It was not his golf swing. Look at it, it's a great position. It was his mindset that I allowed foster for too long. You're better than you think you are. I said, you got another shirt? He goes, yeah, I gotta go on and kick this thing off. Put the blue shirt. I said, Max, this is our winning shirt. You know, Tiger wears red, we're wearing blue. I said, you know why we're wearing blue? These boys have been crying their asses off when this is over. We're gonna win today. I'm anchoring it in his body. It's called a trigger. I do it with my athletes. It's a trigger. So we're gonna win today. We're gonna win today. I said, here's the rules, buddy. I'll go get the lunch. You go to the tee box. Here's the rules. No practice swings. And I'm gonna give you specific instructions and tell you what club to hit the rest of the day. You with me? He goes, okay, Daddy. And I watched my little boy walk with his driver, my only son, his normal walk. Shoulders hunched over, the other boys are waiting for him. And I'm walking to get the lunch, and I'm like, shit, we're gonna get killed. I scared my son, probably getting arrested for some type of an assault with that guy. And I watched my son go tee up. My son's so uncoordinated. You ever seen someone tee up the ball? They just tee the ball up, right? My son, it's one of these deals. He has to get down on the ground. Can you imagine the pro golfers watching my son? He finally tees it up, and I'm watching him from over there. He makes a good swing, hits it down the middle. And I got up there, I said, how'd that feel? He goes, it felt okay, Daddy. I go, good shot, we're gonna win. We're walking down the fairway. We're gonna win, okay, Daddy. We get to the ball, he's got 110 yards. I've never done this before. I said, Max, you got 110. I need an 8-iron, I need a 10 feet left of the hole. Rip it, no practice swing. Okay, Daddy. Takes his club back, gets it about 20 feet left of the hole. I go, good shot, man. How'd that feel? He goes, good. Hands me the club, we walk down. We're gonna win, we're gonna win, we're gonna win. We get up, he's about to putt. Max would do this when he would putt. Just putt the ball till it got to the hole. I said, Max, do like the other guys. Line it up. Read the putt, man, get focused. So he goes into this complete bullshit read. He doesn't know what he's looking at, neither do I. Okay, Dad, it's like 2 feet downhiller, left to right. I'm like, that sounds right to me too, man. Nail it. Takes the putter back. Doink, birdie. Yeah, Maximus, how's that feel? That felt really good, Dad. I go, Max, that's a birdie. They bogey. Hey, man, we're down 9. 8 holes to go. We're gonna win. He's like, okay. And he kind of like hands me the club like this. We get to the next hole. He hits a driver, so no practice swing. Hit the driver, bombs it down the middle. It's a par 5. Everybody hit their ball about the same place. We get down, there's a lake in front of the green. Both the other boys lay up. It's too far. I say, Max, you got 220 to the green. Hit the 3. Dad, do what I said. I said, hit that 3-wood. Smack it on the green. 220. I don't care where you put it. Just put it on that green. Okay, Daddy. And I immediately, any good story, there's a little Jesus. I'm like, Lord, listen to me real close. You let this ball land on that green, I will honor you in every talk I give. And I will stop doing like 25% of all the bad things I do. Just let it land on the green. This is my only son, I'm your son. If all this stuff is true, this ball's hitting the damn green. He launches it. I'm like, please, Jesus, my son's not ever hit a ball 220 in his life. And it hits the block wall in front of the green. Bounces straight up in the air. Lands on the green. Rolls to about 3 inches. I go, how'd that feel? My son goes, felt good, Dad. Hands me the club like that. Little crooked foot, little bugger. Felt good, Daddy. Now all of a sudden he's walking down the fairway like, what is up, guys? What is up? He's catching up to the other dudes. Now he's talking golf. Hey, man, you guys wearing FootJoys. I got Mizunos. You know, I'm looking into Callaway. How you guys feel about Callaway? He's all of a sudden a golfer. He got a new identity. Got a little momentum. They bogey. He taps in for an eagle. I go, hey, Max. Max, we're down 6. Flash forward to 18. We're down 1. First place is Numbnuts and his dumb kid. I said, Max, this is it, man. We're gonna win. He goes, okay, Daddy. What'd I tell him not to do? Don't take a practice swing. It's about 95 degrees. My uncoordinated kid takes a practice swing.
Oh, no.
Club slips out of his hand. Helicopter's in the air, lands in the middle of the lake. Most important shot of his life. A kid throws his club into the lake. All right, buddy. It's Daddy. I go, hey, Max, power on one more. We got another club here. Hit the 3-wood. Only my kid. That's a true story. It's on my podcast. He talks about it. Every word of this is true. He hits his 3-wood down the middle. We're walking down the fairway. I go, we're going to win, Max. He goes, I know, Dad. This is the same boy that for 3 years when he would come home from tournaments, my wife never even asked him what his score was. Did you have fun? Yeah, me and Daddy had fun. We get down there, and I hear Numbnuts say to Jacob, hey, Jacob, there's a lake in front of the green. Don't hit it in the lake, buddy. I go, Max, come here, come here. Jacob's going to hit it in the lake. You never tell someone what not to do, son. Sure enough, Jacob hits it in the lake. I go, Max, let's get a W. I go, you got 115 to the green, hit this 8-iron, 10 feet left of the hole. You got it? No practice. Okay, Daddy. And he hits it about 10 feet left of the hole. Problem is, Jacob's really good. He holes out from the other side of the green. So we get to the hole. Here's the deal. Max 1 putts, we win. 3 years, dead last. We win. He 2 putts, we go to a playoff with Numbnuts and his kid. He 3 putts, we lose. My mental midget butt says, Max, give it a read. And he goes into his little BS thing. Hey, Daddy. And I say, hey, Max, it's a little downhill. Don't hit it too far past the hole.
Oh.
My kid says this to me. Daddy, I'm gonna make it. We're gonna win, Daddy. We're gonna win. I was so damn proud. Magic moment. Takes that little putter back, and I'm into Jesus mode big time now. That thing's rolling to the hole. Boink! He wins. He runs up. Yay! Go Maximus! Woo! You're a gladiator, buddy. You're a champion. You're the greatest of all time. Like we won the Masters, man. Like we won the Masters. These guys are looking at me like, you know, it doesn't matter, dude. How you like your lunch now, buddy? Bring your own lunch. It changed his life. You get a little momentum in your life, you become superhuman. Listen to me. We're up here because we got a little momentum. That's all. Trust me. Because we started believing we were close. And when you believe you're close, your brain goes into sensory acuity mode and starts hearing things it otherwise wouldn't hear. When you live with an expectation that you're one away, instead of that you're not, you begin to see the people, places, and things that were always there. I promise you. It's called The Matrix in my book, chapter 2. That's my kid after he won. How happy is that face? There's that blue shirt too. I mean, look at his face. One more thing. Still highly uncoordinated. Have you ever seen LeBron with an NBA trophy? Give me one of these in your life. Only my kid. But guess what happened after that day? He changed. He won 23 straight tournaments. Then he finished second. Then he won 13 more. That day he shot 64. Same mechanical swing, completely different identity. Now he's a competitor. Now he's a winner. Now he's got momentum. Now he's got a taste. Just a taste, man. You get a taste. You're gonna want it the rest of your life. Oh, this is him signing his college golf scholarship. He plays college golf. He's played in 3 professional tournaments. How the heck does an uncoordinated kid who finished last for 3 years play college and professional golf? The power of one more. The power of momentum. The power of belief. The power. It all started with competing again. Competing again. You hear me? Say yes.
Yes.
That's me and him golfing in Cabo now. I'm not sure genetically who his actual father is, but that's him. He lost 80 pounds since that picture to get fit again, and you can see his crooked ass feet. He's still crooked. Okay? That's my best friend. Right there. I tell you that not because I'm proud, I tell you that because your life can change in one moment, one day, 1 hour, one speaker, 1 second. I don't know when it happened for him. At some point in that round, he went, we're gonna win. No matter what, we're gonna win. In your case, you don't have to win that day. You just have to decide you're never gonna quit. My dad stayed sober 1 day at a time when he got sober. I said, Daddy, you're never gonna drink? He goes, I can't promise you that. I just won't drink for 1 more day. And guess what? That lasted the rest of his life. And in fact, every time I was gonna quit in business, my dad would go, you don't need to decide you're never gonna quit. That's what all motivational speakers say. You just need to decide you're not going to quit for one more day. See how you feel tomorrow. And I feel like quitting less. Let me finish by telling you about my dad and giving you some hope, and I want you to think about your family, not mine. How many of you have parents that are alive? Almost all of you. This is my dad. By the way, if you take a picture of that, I'll give you a free gift. I have no upsell. I own no funnels. All my stuff's free. So if you scan that, I think it's how I manage my day, how I get 21 days a week. There's a whole system I have. It's pretty wonderful. If you miss taking the picture, you can just go to edmilet.com, put your email in and ask for it. My team will send it to you. My team, I mean Erica, but she'll send it to you. All right, I got to take that down, so I'm in a hurry. By the way, if you really want to check some of my other stuff out, I've done more podcasts. I also have a TV show called Change that I did with NBC. It's like a modern day Dr. Phil, where I intervene in someone's life live, a problem they've got, I intervene, it's emotional. It's up for an Emmy Award. And pretty cool show. So, all right, this is me and my dad. Final thoughts. I'm a little behind, but it's worth it. This is me and my old man. Picked the goofiest picture of me because my sister has a sense of humor. That's when my dad was drinking. Very afraid of that man. I've seen my dad in more than 50 physical fights in my life. 50. You cut him off on the side of the freeway, my dad's not the dude to flip you the bird. My dad's the dude who will follow you to your driveway and beat your ass. Any of you got a dad like that? A couple of you. You know what I'm talking about. Angel Gang, we're in left field. Some dude spilled a little beer on my dad. That was a mistake. St. Dennis Catholic Church on a Sunday. We're in the donut line. Some dude mouthed off to my dad. I could tell he didn't like it. We get up to the car. My dad was driving a yellow Datsun B210 hatchback. Like 40 horsepower. This thing was badass. We pile our whole family in that thing, and my dad drives back around the church to the donut line. I can see Father Potoff right there. My dad waves to the dude who mouthed off, and the dude's like, "What's up?" He walks to the car. Well, in the car, my dad grabbed him. Bam! Headbutted this man, knocked him out cold. The man fell about 3 feet from the priest. We just drove off. We came back the next Sunday. Hail Mary, our Father, peace be with you. Like nothing happened. My father was crazy. That was the drugs and the alcohol. I know human beings can change because I watched him turn into the sweetest, kindest, most giving, gentle, amazing man I've ever met. Went from being one way to another in one decision, in one more try. One day at a time. Started stacking up those one mores for 35 years the rest of his life. I don't tell you that to impress you about my dad. I tell you that to impress upon you what you're capable of. This is me and my dad. We were both good looking men at one time. Just proof. That's when he got sober. Looks a lot different, doesn't he? This is the three Ed Milets. I'm actually Edward Michael Joseph Milet III. The guy in the middle is Papa. His dad's the one that died in the gutter. He dropped out of high school in 4th grade to support his family. He stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. He's a pretty big stud. The guy next to him is my dad. Look at my dad. See what my dad's wearing? Take note of that for the rest of the talk. He's wearing his golf outfit. My dad always golfed in a white shirt and glasses. My favorite thing to do in my life is to golf with my dad. Because it was 5 hours with my best friend. I would do like literally anything to play golf one more time with my dad. Just one more, man. A week after this picture, Papa passed away. It was the last picture I ever took with him. And I remember when he passed away thinking, man, Daddy's now in Papa's seat and I'm in Dad's seat, like that, like a flicker, like a flash. Now I'm in Dad's seat. And now my father's passed away and I'm in his seat. I'm in Papa's seat now. That picture was like yesterday. Time flies, man. Let me prove it to you. This is me and my dad golfing. My favorite thing. And this day, my dad had my voice, real deep voice, like a man voice. That day, my dad was like, what's going on with you? Let's go. He goes, I got a little thing in my chest, I'm cool. I said, I don't like how that sounds. I said, Monday you're seeing my doctor. Saw my doctor Monday. Tuesday, my dad had a 12-hour surgery to remove a tumor the size of a football from his chest. He was diagnosed with liposarcoma, real rare form of cancer. And when my dad got cancer, he goes, look, here's the deal. I'll fight this thing once. I'm not going to get all shriveled up. I'm not losing my hair. I'm not doing the thing. I'll fight it once, and that's it, and then I'm out. That led to 8 years of him fighting. Tremendous pain. Surgery, chemo, radiation, proton therapy, chemo, surgery, experimental chemo. And I watched him, what I thought was tremendous. I said, Dad, look at him. You can see the poison on him, can't you? Can you see it? Say yes. Every time I'd see my father, I knew he was dying. I knew he was dying. I was losing my dad. By the way, listen close. You're going to lose him someday. Time's running out on you. I wish someone told me that. I love my dad way more than I was afraid of what people thought about me. Your problem is you ain't ever going to die, so you let your fears rule your life. Look what my dad's wearing. Let me tell you the truth. We couldn't golf anymore. I taught him all my visualizations that I teach all my athletes. My dad would visualize and we'd play golf together every day in his mind and his heart. And he would get dressed for the round every day the rest of his life. I said, Dad, why are you suffering? You said you weren't going to go through this. My dad said, Eddie, I'm not suffering. That's a choice. I am in pain, but suffering is of our own choosing. I'm not suffering. And when you understand the power of one more day, you will only know how blessed you are to have one more day, Eddie, when you are threatened with not having any more. I didn't know when I got sick, the idea of never seeing your mom again, I'll go through any pain. I ain't suffering. I get to see your mom tonight. I'll do anything to get to talk to you again and dream about our old rounds of golf. I'll go through any pain for that. All pain is temporary. Eddie, everything's temporary except our souls. My body's temporary too. I'll do anything to get to my granddaughter's wedding. I'll do anything to see my grandson play one more football game. You don't know what you'll do for one more day when you no longer might have one. And he fought and he fought and he went through pain. I wasn't going to talk about any of this today because I don't like giving this talk. Every time my dad would walk in, I knew he was dying. I hate that picture. I don't like that my dad had to go through that. Look what he's wearing. Wearing his golf outfit. This is my dad in the hospital. Finally got hospitalized many times. And this is during COVID. And so I had to stay down in the parking lot. I would work every single day. My favorite man in the world was upstairs. I couldn't hug him. I couldn't touch him. I couldn't say anything. We would FaceTime every day. And I taught him how to do the visualizations. I want you to see what my dad's wearing. Wearing his golf outfit. My dad would get up every morning, didn't want to wear that gurney, that friggin' outfit. He would shave and put his golf outfit on. And this day he called me. I was down in the parking lot. He goes, hey. Some minutes he would take 6 breaths, some he'd take 60. Hey man, what are you doing? I said, hey, I'm down here right now. Sorry, I'm working. You okay up there? Yeah, I'm okay. Something in my intuition said, we just played golf. I said, oh yeah, where did we play? He goes, Pebble Beach. It's beautiful. I go, how'd you play? He goes, lights out. I shot 67. I finally birdied that fucking 18th hole. I said, good. He goes, man, you played like shit. All over the place. I said, cut it out. He goes, yeah, my lunch is here. I'll call you later. Something told me. About 2 hours later, he called me and goes, hey, get up. I said, what's up? He goes, I wasn't honest with you earlier. I said, what, you didn't play good? I'm doing so good. I said, you're not? No. I want to go home. I said, what? I want to go home. I want to be with your mom in my home. Please. And get your sisters and you over there too. Please come get me. My heart sank. I said, Dad, we're going to get you another steroid shot. You're going to rally. Listen to me. All the one mores in my life. I have one more day. What? I have one more day. I want to be with your mom and you and the girls in my home. Please, come get me. And my heart sank. By the way, someday your mom or dad are going to have one more day. Do you want them proud of you then? Who do you want to become? What do you want to have accomplished? Oh, so will you. You will have one more day, someday. I called his doctor. Doc, hey, Dad's talking crazy. He goes, I'd send an ambulance, go get him. I said, what? He goes, Eddie, they know. I said, who's they? He goes, Ed, someone who's gonna die. They know. This is 3 hours later. That's my dad coming through the front door one more time. That woman right there is my mom. Seeing her husband of 50 years come through that front door one more time. Someday you're going to come through that door one more time. See the staircase to the right of my mom? See that staircase? That's the same staircase I'd send my mom up when my dad was drinking. A totally different man came through that door. One man came through for the first 15 years of my life, and in one moment, in one decision, in one shift, he started stacking up one mores, and a beautiful, generous, kind, gentle, loving, powerful, unbelievably influential man victoriously came through his home one more time. A totally different man. Left of that ambulance driver is the liquor cabinet I would keep him away from. I used to be afraid of that front door. Now I couldn't wait to come through that door and see my dad. You can change. If you don't have it right with someone in your family right now, fix it. You got someone you're sideways with in your life, a friend, something like that, fix it. Fix it. Family's not proud of you right now, fix it. You want to do something great with your life, fix it. I already told you how to do it. Now I want it in your heart. I'm here as your brother, not better than you. I already told you who I am. If I can do this, you can do this. That's my dad with one more hour. Who do you want to be in the last hour of your life? What do you think my dad was worried about there? Bills? Haters? What people thought about him? What do you think he regretted in his life? I can tell you, the times he didn't go for it, the dreams he didn't chase, the times he didn't take a risk, the times he played it too close. He told me, I wish I'd have tried more. I wish I'd have done more. My dad lived a great life. And about 20 minutes after that picture, I got to hold that man's hand, that same hand that did damage to me. Now I'm holding that hand, comforting him. He woke up about 20 minutes after this picture and he looked over at me and goes, I'm so proud of you. My heart just melted, man. All of it was worth it in that moment. All the hardship, all the adversity, all the late nights, all the worry, all the doubt, all the people who took advantage of me, all the people who lied and cheated me, all the times I doubted myself, all the long drives to people saying no, all the effort, all the calls, all the meetings, all the appointments, all the decisions, all the sleepless nights. Everything I did was worth it in that moment for that man to say to me, I'm proud of you. I can't believe God gave you to me, my only son. I love you. He closed his eyes. He wouldn't take morphine because it violated his sobriety. All the way to the end, man. 20 minutes later, my dad took one more breath. And then all of his pain ended. And on the other side of that pain there was an unbelievable man. On the other side of my dad's pain and sacrifice, I was better. See, on the other side of temporary pain, and all pain is temporary, you meet another version of you. Another insight, another thought, another emotion, another level. And my dad met that man. And I know my dad's in heaven. I'm real proud of my dad. These are index cards I found with my dad. I'll wrap up by telling you this. I went upstairs and I picked up all my dad's stuff. I said, Mama, what's all this stuff that's up here? She goes, oh, those are the people that your dad helped get sober. Some of them are prisoners, some of them are movie stars, people from all walks of life, Eddie. That's their sobriety birthdays, and every time one of their birthdays pops up, and every single month, there's hundreds of them, your dad calls me and says, hey, congratulations, happy birthday, go one more day. One more day at a time, power of one more. Power of one more. In fact, my own dad, we didn't celebrate his actual birthday, which is April 11th. We only the rest of my dad's life celebrated his sobriety birthday. And here's the hilarious part. Only my dad will get sober on 420. My dad's sobriety birthday is 420, that is no joke. But he paid it forward. By the way, a month ago I found the guy that helped my dad get sober. He heard one of these speeches. And guess what his name is? I can't tell you his last name. Guess what his name is? Ed. There's 4 Eds in my life now that changed my life. See, you were born to do something great with your life, except you won't know when it is. In big ways and small ways. There's the big ways, you got helicopters and jets and mansions and all that stuff's cool. But I'll submit to you that when you get to the last days of your life, you'll be most proud of the small ways that have ripple effects, where you helped another person, a kind gesture, a beautiful word, a helping hand, some information, some advice, a product, a service that changed someone else's life. You were born to do something great. You got to start to attach that to your behaviors every day. Are you with me on that? Say yes. And so here's the deal. I want you to go to, I'm pretty convinced David's in heaven. I wish I could have told David when he was young, David, you have 2 weeks left to live. Tell Julie you love her. Make sure your finances are in place. Get that stuff right with your dad. Kiss your girls one more time. On the call that day, David, you have 1 hour. Last David, you have 2 minutes. I was with Kobe Bryant the week before he died. I wish I could have told Kobe, hey bro, you got 1 week. I can't whisper to you how many you got, but I can whisper this to you. Hey, time's running out on you. Like that. Like that. You must get after it. Because where I want you to go is heaven. Now, I'm a Christian. I want to get into heaven. All I want the Lord to go, hey man, well done, good and faithful servant. Get your little butt in here. But I actually think there's another version of heaven, metaphorically, that I'm going to end with. And here's what I think happens. I think you get to meet the man or woman you were born to be. I think you get to meet the ultimate version of you. The one that God created in his image and likeness. Whether you believe that or not, I don't care. You want to be quantum field, I believe in all that too. I'm a big vibration dude. I'm just telling you, I think you're going to meet the man or woman you were born to be someday. Would you like to do that? And I want to say this when I get there. Hey man, I've been chasing you. I've been after you. I got knocked down. I got back up. I went sideways. I made this mistake. I had that sin. That person got me. But I kept getting up. One more try. One more try. One more try. I kept coming after you, man. And this guy goes, man, I've been watching you. I thought you were out of the game on that one. That 1 year the economy tanked. That one dude who screwed you over. That stupid ass thing you did that one time. But you just kept coming, man. You maxed out your life. You had all the emotions, the memories, the contribution, the feelings, the achievement, the difference. You had it all, brother. You saw it all. You did it. You rode it till the wheels came off, man. It was awesome. You did it. Welcome to heaven. That's heaven to me. That's all I want. I want to see what my potential is. Mine's different than yours. Yours is different than mine. Hell looks a lot different. Hell looks like this. You get there and you meet that man or woman. The woman could have had the memories, the moments, the emotions, the people helped. Contribution, man. Feeling, pride, the parents that are proud, the sisters that are proud, the children that are proud. And you didn't become her. I was chasing you. I know I saw you, and I just, that one thing, and then the other, I got up, and then I just, a couple times, and the economy, and my husband, my sister, my dad. Shit! Damn it! I was afraid. I didn't have faith. I lived my life in fear.
instead of faith. Damn it.
Yeah, I saw that. It's too bad I don't really know you. And you don't get one more of those. That was your only life. There's no one more life. That was it. I'm sorry. That's hell. That's hell. Where do you want to go? You want to go to hell? You want to go to heaven? I'm being serious. Do you want to go to hell or do you want to go to heaven? Which one do you want to go to?
Heaven.
You want to go to heaven? Heaven is real simple. It starts this second right now. It starts going. I'm going to begin to live with a little more faith. I'm going to begin to implement this power of one more. I'm going to begin to transfer happiness to people. I'm going to begin to be intentional about what people feel. I'm going to become a little bit more evangelical about mission. I'm going to start to compete just a little bit more. I'm going to get a little bit more dialed in and focused. I'm going to believe that winning is more fun than fun is fun. When all my friends screw off and are at the club and partying, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And eventually, one more time, one more call, one more rep, one more minute on the treadmill, one more time you tell your daughter you love her, or your wife you love her, or your husband you love him. You start stacking up those one mores. You keep stacking. You'll get knocked down, get back up, one more, one more, one more. You'll find yourself in heaven someday. Does that sound good? Say yes.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you. Hope this was that hour I promised you where I said it would move your life. Did it move your life? Please tell me it moved your life. I'll let